In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and configure SEO Yoast so you can make sure that your SEO is solid on your site, and we're getting started right now. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Bjorn from WPLearningLab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell notification icon so you're notified when we publish more awesome WordPress tutorials for you. And with that out of the way, let's head over to the screen capture so we can install and configure SEO Yoast. I'll see you there. Here we are at the dashboard. We're going to install the plugin first. So we're going to go to plugins on the left and then click on add new. And then we are going to search for Yoast SEO. And this is the one right here, top left. I'm going to click on install and then we're going to click on activate. And now it's installed. And up here we have a Y, which is the Yoast logo at the moment. They changed it a lot. At the moment it says Y with the box behind it. There's a 3, meaning you have 3 notifications. Down here on the left-hand menu, we have another Y with SEO. That's also this plugin, but here it has a 2. So they're referencing 2 different things, or they're referencing something incorrectly, who knows. But if we click on either of those, it'll take us to the dashboard. And we see here, right after we install it, we have 0 problems, which is good. We have 3 notifications, and that's it on the main dashboard. So the notifications, the first one is something we have to do, and we're going to do it in just a second. The second one is just saying, please rate me. And the third one is also something we should do, which we're going to do in another video, not in this one, but connect the plugin to Search Console, or essentially to connect your website to the Google Search Console using the plugin, which makes it a lot easier to do. So I'm just going to get rid of these ones that I don't want. And I'm going to click on this plugin link to configure the plugin. And this is going to take us through a nice little process, a 10-step process. It's going to walk us through how to set up the plugin for our website, which is awesome. The first step basically says sign up for a newsletter. You don't have to do it. It's optional. You can just click on next if you don't actually want to sign up for the newsletter. The next one, what type of environment are we running? Is this a production environment, meaning is it a live site? Is it a staging environment, meaning is it a copy used for testing purposes? Or is it development, where we're trying to build a new site or build new functionality? In my case, it's production, and you're going to want to choose whatever it is for your case, and then click on next. And then we're going to have to choose what type of site it is. A blog, a web shop, which is a funny term. This is the same as e-commerce. I don't know who says web shop. News site, a small business site, other corporate site, or other personal site. Choose the one that's correct for you or close enough. I'm just going to choose blog for myself. Then is this site associated with a company or a person? So if it's your personal site, clearly you choose person. But if it's a company site, like a bug exterminator, for example, you want to use company. In my case, it's a company site. I'm going to call it WPLearningLab, actually. It's our test site. Then you can choose an image for your logo. I'm just going to find my, maybe I've got something in the media library. No. Just going to find my logo and add that to here. Be right back. All right, got my logo in there. Going to click on choose image in the bottom right. It's got our logo in there. Fantastic. And then click on next. And all of these things are actually useful. Like Yoast isn't asking for things that are just random. That last one, for example, goes in the Google Knowledge Graph, so it provides data for Google. The blogging platform step that we had provides information for the plugin to know what type of site you have to better optimize it for that. Here we can add our social profiles, which are also an important part of SEO. I'm not going to add them now, but add all the ones you have, add them in here, and then click on next. Post type visibility. Here we determine how posts are viewed by Google, or can they be viewed by Google, I should say. So this doesn't make sense at first, but it will in a second. So for the posts, clearly they should be visible. In my case anyway, because it's a blog. Pages should be visible because I want that content seen. Media, on the other hand, should be hidden. And I agree with that. I don't know if you know this or not, but when you add an image to your site, it actually creates a page on your site that contains that image. That page contains nothing else besides the image. And what this option is telling Google to do is don't look at that. Don't index those. Don't do anything with those. I just want to hide them. So that's what we want to do for those. And it actually says that right here. And then for portfolio, which is a custom post type currently on the site, we're going to choose that as visible. FAQ is also one, and should keep that as visible. You may have other ones depending what theme you're running, or you may have none at all right here as well. So choose visible or hidden, whatever you think is right. For media, I recommend you always choose hidden. And then unless you're a photography website, but even then you want the media itself to be hidden, because chances are you have your photographs displayed on a specific page for each photograph or each piece of art. You don't want a separate page that has just the photograph. So pretty much in every case I can think of, keep media as hidden. And then we click on next. Will this site have multiple authors? Yes or no? Simple question. In my case, it's no. So I click on next. Linking this site to Google Search Console. That's a pretty quick step, and it's a very important one. So we're going to do that right now as well. What it wants us to do is get the Google authorization code. So just click on this button right here. And in a new tab, we are actually going to have Yoast do this for us, which is pretty cool. So this is asking if Yoast is allowed to manage our Search Console data for us. You can do this or not. In fact, let's do it this way. I'm going to show you how this works. And if you don't want to allow Yoast to do this, I will show you how to do it manually right after that. So we'll just click on allow here. And this is the code up here that it wants us to paste in. So I'm just going to copy that, paste it in here, and then click authenticate. And that was pretty simple. Now it wants us to choose the profile. As you can see, we've got a lot of profiles. I'm going to choose the one that is this one, WPPHD, and then click on next. So for the site name field, you want to put your website name, whatever it happens to be. And the separator is what will come before the site name. So if you have a post, for example, say the post is called How to Grow Green Beans. The title for that page or that post will be How to Grow Green Beans, and then there'll be a dash, and then it'll have WPPHD. It'll have your site name. So how to grow, just so we can see it all in one field here. So it's going to be how to grow whatever with a dash and then WPPHD. And what we're doing right here is we're choosing this character. Do we want that to be a small dash, bigger dash, a dot, a bigger dot, a pipe character? You get the idea. So you pick the one that it should be. I usually pick the dash or the pipe character, but it doesn't really matter SEO wise which one you choose. So pick whichever one you want. Just make sure you pick one. And then we click on next. And now we get a success message. We are all done. We have a little ad here for buying SEO training from SEO Yoast. You can do that if you want, but it's probably unnecessary. Another call to action is sign for the newsletter, also optional. And we click on close if we're all done. I'm going to click on close. Now we're back where we were. Plugin is configured. So now you're all done. You're set, ready to go. So I still want to show you how to do Search Console manually. There is a link called Search Console in the menu on the left here. That's the wrong one. Don't click on that. What you want to click on is Webmaster Tools at the top, which is actually the old name for Google Search Console. That's still the name used by Bing and Yandex, so that's why they call it that. But the added benefit of doing it here, doing it with the plugin configuration steps, we only verify Google Search Console, whereas if we do it in here, we can verify Bing and Yandex if we wanted to. But we're just going to do Search Console right now. I'll have a separate video where I'll do all three, but for now, just Search Console. And how we do this is we Google Search Console. It should be somewhere near the top, or you can search Google Search Console. And this is one we want right here. Click on that to open it. And you're going to have a list of websites or no websites, depending how many you have. If you don't have any, click on this red Add Property button. Type in the address. So I'm going to type in wp-phd.com. Now I already have this site in my Search Console, so this might throw an error when I click on Add. And it said verification failed 137 days ago, so it didn't throw an error, but it did recognize that I had this profile already set up. So when you did that, you will likely not have this error message, but you're going to have all the rest that you see here. And using this method with SEO Yoast, where we fill in this bit here, this is going to actually turn into a meta tag on the site. So it says here, enter meta values. So if we go back to Search Console, the meta value is what's inside these content quotes right here, which we can't actually select. It all selects the whole thing. So I'm just going to copy that, paste it into here, and now we can select just the characters, copy those, and we paste them into here. Then we click on Save Changes. And now we have our Search Console code in there. And if you don't want to use the recommended method, which is the HTML tag in this case, you can use alternate methods. So if you just click on this tab right here, you can do an HTML file upload, domain name provider, which logs into, say, GoDaddy, and you can verify the domain name exists in your account, verify Google Analytics, verify the Google Tag Manager, a lot of different ways. But with SEO Yoast, this one's pretty easy because we just copy that piece of code, then we click on verify, and now we see, congratulations, you're successfully verified. Click on continue, and it's going to take us to that web properties dashboard, which we see here. And this one was out of commission for 137 days, so it's not showing very much going on right now. And that is how we add our Search Console manually if you don't want to do it through the plugin. Now, the last thing we're going to cover is just the basics of how to use SEO Yoast on a post or a page. So if we go to our posts, pick any one, let's pick blog post 4 and then click on edit. And we've got some awesome lorem ipsum content here. And below the post, we have a Yoast SEO meta box. Now this is where the magic happens. We see an analysis box down here, and we've got a bunch of red and orange circles. And this is basically current SEO best practices. And SEO Yoast is updated frequently. Whenever things change with Google, they update their best practices to match that change in Google, which is awesome. So if we put our keyword back in here, it automatically updates. Now it says we have 3 green boxes. So the goal of on-page SEO is to turn all dots that are not green, green. So what we want to do is, our text only contains 139 words. That's below the recommended minimum of 300. So we got to increase our content length, which I am going to do very simply, like this. So now we have text contains 417 words, which is over 300. So we get a green light. Awesome. Now the next thing, we just go through these one by one until they're all figured out. No meta description has been specified. Search engines will copy from the page instead. Now you might think that's okay. You might think you don't need to update or manually create a meta description because there's no SEO value to it these days, is what they say. But in actual fact, it is valuable because it's what appears in the search results. So it's one of your few chances to get someone to click on that link to visit your post. The only places where you get these chances are the title, the URL, and the description. And in fact, this little snippet preview is how it will show up in the search result, more than likely. And they have mobile options, so you can see the mobile preview. This is how to look on mobile. This is how it'll look on desktop. And we can edit it by clicking on this little edit button. Very convenient. We can type in, this is our custom description. Click here. Okay, great. Close that snippet. And now we have meta description has been verified, but it does not contain the focus keyword. And what happens in Google when someone searches lorem ipsum, for example, if you have that keyword in your description and your title, it'll be bolded, which makes the results stand out more. That's why they want our keyword in there. So I'm just going to paste it in. Oh, that's too much. Just going to paste it in right there. And now we have, let's see, meta description. Contains focus keyword and it exists, green light. I'm just going to go through each one of these. It's going to take a bit of time, but at least then there's going to be no confusion as to what each one means, because these are all pretty important. Even though these sentences do explain it pretty well, it's still good to just walk through it. So lorem ipsum is not in the title. So let's put it in the title. We go to the very top. Blog post 4 is our title. We're going to call this the lorem ipsum is awesome post. And then we're going to edit the URL to match it. Ipsum is awesome. Not going to add the word post. So there we have the URL and the title changed. So we are, focus keyword appears in the URL, green light. And where's the title? The title's orange now, not red. The title is too short. Use the space to add keyword variations or create compelling call to action copy. So I'm gonna say, click here to find out what I'm talking about. Call to action. Not a very good one, but it's a call to action. And I suggest you write some better stuff. We're just going through these boxes to get them all green. So the page title is now wider than the viewable limit. So as you can tell, SEO Yoast is quite particular with what it needs, but so is Google, so it's awesome. Click here to learn more. So we're gonna shorten that guy, come back down here, and now our title, page title is a nice length, fantastic. There are no images on this page. Consider adding some as appropriate. There's currently one image on the site, which is my logo. I'm just gonna add that one. And there we have an image. It's probably going to complain there's no title or meta tag, or alt tag, I mean. It still doesn't know there's an image there, so I'm just going to save this draft. And now it should update that image portion of the analysis. Yeah, so it's no longer red, and now it says the images are missing alt attributes. So let's add an alt in there. Alt equals... And alt is what describes the actual image. So I'm going to have their WPLearningLab logo. And I'm going to add in the title as well. Just because it's smart to have a title for your image, I'm just going to call it the same thing. Okay. Save draft. And now the analysis shows still the images are missing alt attributes, which is not true. Why is it showing that? Oh, it's because there's actually an alt in here that's empty. So I'm going to delete that alt, keep the one we have, click on Save Draft again. Now back to the analysis. Now the images do not have all the attributes contained in the focus keyword. So now we go back, and as you can tell, there's a lot of trial and error, and I'm doing this on purpose because you will likely encounter this. But the more you use the plugin, the more you're going to know these things off by heart. And it's essentially teaching you proper on-page SEO as you go. So now that we save the draft again, our image contains alt attributes with the focus keyword, so we're good. So the slug for this page contains a stop word. Consider removing it. The stop word is words that don't provide any value, which is, in this case, is. So if we take out is, words like and the, and things like that that don't provide any value to the actual text are called stop words. So now we took out is, and our URL that's happy again, green light. The meta description is under 120 characters. So here we have a meta description one that contains the focus keyword, so it's happy because of that, but it's unhappy because there aren't enough characters. So let's add some more characters. I'm gonna say this is the best post I've ever written. Close snippet editor. So we're still under 120 characters. So instead of typing something, I'm just gonna copy and paste this a few times. So this went from orange to green, which means it's happy. Let's see, where did it go? Here it is. Length is sufficient for the meta description. The last one that's still orange, no links appear on this page. Consider adding some as appropriate. So adding a link is pretty easy. We just highlight some text and we click on the link button, and we can have a link that goes internally. So these are a list of pages on the site. We can click on one of these to add that link. I'm just gonna click on HTML table. It adds all the content here. We can change this anchor text for SEO purposes. It's good to have your focus keyword for the destination post in the anchor tag, but usually it's good to have variations of that, because if you use the exact keyword over and over, that's keyword spamming. So you want to always have variations. That's why I put HTML tables galore instead of just HTML table, which would be the focus keyword. Click on add link, and that adds that link in right here. And I'm going to add another one. And this link, I'm going to link out to a different website. So I'm going to link out to WordPress.org. Now the reason I do that is because you want to link out in every post that you make. You want to link out to somewhere. And where you link to needs to be an authority site in your market. So in Google's eyes, if you're linking to other authorities in your marketplace and you know who those authorities are, then Google deems you as reputable. And you want to be seen as reputable. And eventually, if you create enough content on enough consistent basis and you link out to other authority sites, eventually you will become an authority site, which is ultimately what you want, because then you start seeing your rankings happen faster, you rank higher, you rank easier. Life is just a lot better when you're an authority site. And one of the ways you do that is good SEO, and one of those good SEOs is linking out to an authority site. Now we click on add link here. There's an option you can add. This is the link we just added. There's an option you can add in the tag, which is rel equals no follow. There's a school of thought in SEO that having the no follow is better for SEO, for your site's SEO. What it essentially does is it doesn't pass authority from your site to the other one. Previously called link juice, but that's kind of being phased out a little bit. Or PageRank even is getting phased out a little bit. But what this does is it passes authority from your site to the other one. Or sorry, the no follow stops the passing of authority. If you don't have the no follow, you do pass the authority. And in fact, what Google wants you to do is not use the go follow. Or sorry, not use the no follow. So there's a school of thought that says no follow is beneficial, a different school that says it's not. I suggest you try it out. I don't use no follow personally. I suggest you try it out and see what happens. Say you get a page that's ranking really well, just change a couple links or all the links on that page to no follow and see if it affects your rankings. It'd be a fun little experiment. So now we have our links in there, and we scroll down and we now have all green dots. Our page is now optimized for SEO, which is awesome. So we've got all these green dots down there, and if we scroll up, we've got our SEO over here is good. Our readability needs improvement, and I think this is the Fleisch-Kincaid scale of readability, which essentially gives you a readability score based on the average grade someone would have to be in order to read the text. And this being Latin, you probably have to be a pretty high grade to learn Latin these days, or post-secondary even. So clearly readability is not great. You want to have readability at high school level, early high school, just to make sure that the widest audience possible can understand and read your stuff, unless of course you're publishing scientific papers, in which case you're not talking high school students anyway. So one more thing I want to show you. If you go back to all posts, on the right hand side, we also have SEO and readability and what their scores are on your site. So SEO is good for this post, bad for readability, and gray dot means we haven't done anything yet, and then the red dot means it's good, or there's not enough content to be done. So readability down here, hello world is actually just hello world, that's all it says. So it's red because there's not enough to get a readability score. And these ones we haven't done anything with the SEO. There's no focus keyword in there, so it can't actually score the page without the focus keyword. And that is the basics of on-page SEO. In fact, that's beyond the basics. That's really all you need for your on-page SEO. If you make every single one of your posts a green dot for both of these, readability and SEO, you are way ahead of the gang and you're going to do awesome stuff. And that's all there is to installing SEO Yoast. I encourage you to install it clearly and then SEO every blog post that you have on your site. If you have a whole bunch already on there that you haven't SEO'd yet, go back and do it. It's worthwhile. All in all, I hope this video helps you. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell notification icon so you're notified when I publish more awesome tutorials for you. Click that card that just appeared up in the top right corner because there's some awesome free WordPress resources for you to download. And until next time, keep crushing it with WordPress, and I will see you in the next video.